Today we are driving the 2026 Hyundai Venue. This one is the GLS variant, and it's Hyundai's smallest crossover in the lineup, sitting just below the Creta, which you can find right beside it here. Gives you a good visual comparison on how these two vehicles are in terms of size. From the outside, the Venue features a big grille up front that gives it a bold look. You get halogen headlights with LED daytime running lights, and for this GLS trim, 17-inch alloy wheels wrapped in 215/55 tires. If you go for the GL variant, it gets smaller 15-inch alloy wheels with thicker tire sidewalls at 185/65. Both variants feature front and rear disc brakes, with MacPherson struts at the front and a torsion beam setup at the rear. Under the hood is a 1.6-liter naturally aspirated gasoline engine, paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission. It makes 123 horsepower and 150 newton meters of torque, which actually puts it ahead of the Toyota Race and Kia Sonet in terms of figures. Wow. Inside, the Venue's cabin feels simple and functional. It's mostly hard plastics, similar to what you'll find in the Toyota Race. Personally, I think the Kia Sonet's interior feels a bit more refined. Front seats are comfortable enough, nothing fancy, no power adjust, but the driving position feels natural. You get an 8-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It was a bit tricky to connect at first, but once paired, it worked fine. Down below, manual AC controls, a physical handbrake, and a small center console storage area for your valuables. The instrument cluster is actually one of my favorite parts of this interior. It's a 4.2-inch LCD display divided into three sections, with your tachometer on the right, info display in the middle, and speedometer on the left. I also like the small animation where the sidebars react when you step on the gas. Simple but satisfying. Wireless na wireless. Oh, wireless.
Let's try wireless too.
Rear seat space is about the same as the Race and Sonet. I did notice that the back of their front seats are made of hard plastic, which could scratch easily over time. Now from the back seat, here's what it looks like sitting right behind my driving position. I've set the driver's seat about one click from the furthest option available, and with that, I'm left with just a little bit of legroom. Headroom is also on the tighter side, though I think that's expected for a car of this size. Realistically, the rear seats can fit two adults comfortably. You could squeeze in a third if needed, but it would definitely be a bit tight for longer drives. For short trips around the city though, it gets the job done. Moving over to the back, let's check out the cargo area. Despite the Venue's compact size, the trunk space is actually quite decent, enough for probably a couple of medium-sized suitcases stacked on top of each other. This variant comes with a reverse camera with dynamic guidelines and a clear display, though no blind spot monitors or advanced driver assists. If that's important to you, both the Race and Sonnet offer more safety tech on their higher trims. Out on the road, the engine definitely has power, but the delivery isn't perfect. From a standstill, there's a bit of jerkiness from the transmission, and sometimes a slight lag when accelerating hard. I suspect that was because the car was in eco mode. Switching over to normal or sport definitely made it smoother and more responsive. Steering feel is light and easy to maneuver with one hand, but it still gives you some feedback from the road. It's a motor-driven power steering system and feels quite similar to the Race and the Sonnet. Suspension tuning is on the firmer side, but considering that the tires were most likely overinflated, I would say that the suspension is a little bit better than the one on the Toyota Race in terms of ride and comfort. The turning radius is also tight and easy to manage, perfect for city driving. Acceleration is decent. The NVH levels are well controlled, so it doesn't really feel like you're pushing it even when you are. And I have to say, I actually like how this 1.6-liter engine sounds. It makes me curious to try the manual variant someday, just to play around with the engine more. As for the sound system, there's honestly nothing special about it. The speakers get the job done. They don't sound bad, but they don't sound particularly good either. It's a fairly basic setup, clear enough for everyday use, but lacking a bit of depth and richness in the audio. If I'm being honest, the stock speakers on the Toyota Race actually sound a little bit better overall, especially in clarity and low-end response. The venue setup is serviceable for casual listening, but if you're someone who really enjoys music while driving, you might find yourself wanting an upgrade. Overall, the Hyundai Venue feels like a well-rounded city crossover. It's simple, practical, and easy to drive. The 1.6-liter engine gives it enough power for daily use, and the steering and suspension make it feel stable on the road. It may not have the most premium interior or the latest driver assists, but if you're looking for something dependable and fun to drive around town, the Venue makes a strong case for itself. Thanks for watching this POV drive of the 2026 Hyundai Venue. If you enjoyed this kind of relaxed, real-world review, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more POV drives and car impressions here in the Philippines. I always appreciate you taking the time to watch and share your thoughts in the comments. It really helps the channel grow. Until the next drive, stay safe on the road, and I'll see you in the next one.